Good morning, this is Dwayne, and we've been doing a series of reviews of major and minor chords, and yesterday we did augmented and diminished chords. And so today I'd like to take up sixth chords and seventh chords. Now that sounds like two types of chords, but it's actually three types of chords, because a sixth is formed by adding the sixth note of the scale to the major chord. If the major chord, say, is C, and you add the sixth note of the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's called C sixth, okay? If you add that sixth to a minor chord, that's called C minor sixth, okay? It's still a sixth, whether it's major or minor, in other words, okay? And then there's a kind of seventh called a dominant seventh, and that is not the seventh note of the scale. It's not that one. It's the flat seventh degree of the scale, okay? So if you see a notation of C seventh, that's what it means. You play a C dominant seventh. If the composer or the arranger wanted you to play that chord, he would say MAJ seventh, major seventh. Okay, so there's a difference between a seventh and a major seventh. The seventh is technically a dominant seventh, but it's in common usage it's just called a seventh. And then the major seventh is the seventh degree of the scale. So let's go through the 12 major chords and add both a sixth and a dominant seventh and a seventh to see what they look like, okay? So we've done C. Now let's go into F. That's F major. The sixth would be the whole step above the fifth, or I could count up the scale to six, but it's easier to just think a whole step above the fifth. A seventh is a half step above that, so that's F seventh, and that's F major seventh. Here's a G major triad. If I add a sixth, I'd add the sixth note of the G scale. There's the dominant seventh, which is a half step above that, and there's a major seventh. The D triad, D major triad, is like that. Remember, it's black note in the middle, black key in the middle. A sixth is like that, a seventh is like that, and a major seventh is like that. E major six is not there, is it? Why? Because I have to go up a whole step from the fifth to find the sixth. So that's E sixth. That's E seventh, and that's E major seventh. Here's A major sixth, A major seventh, not major seventh, A seventh, and A major seventh. It gets kind of confusing because the chord is major whether you're playing a dominant seventh or a major seventh. Okay? So that can be a little confusing. That's D flat major. Where's the sixth? Sixth note of the D flat scale is there, but we can find it also by going up a whole step from the fifth. Okay, so that's D flat sixth, D flat seventh, D flat major seventh, E flat sixth, E flat seventh, E flat major seventh, A flat sixth, A flat seventh, A flat major seventh, G flat sixth, G flat major seventh, B sixth, B seventh, and B major seventh, and B flat sixth, B flat seventh, and B flat major seventh. Okay, so far in this series we've considered major and minor chords, and we said that a major chord is made out of the root, third, and fifth of the major scale, whatever that is. A minor chord is formed by lowering the third from the major chord. A diminished chord is made by lowering the third and the fifth from a major chord. An augmented chord is formed by raising the fifth a half a step. Now if I add the sixth note of the scale, that's a sixth. If I add another half step, that's seventh, major seventh. Okay? So if you're not familiar with those, be sure and play through all of what I just did. Do it with your left hand as well, because you often play chords in the left hand more than you do in the right hand, although it's good to play. It's good to play it in both hands, okay? Get familiar with them. All right, that's it for today, and then tomorrow we'll take up another couple kinds of chords and review those. So see you then. Bye-bye for now.